This episode is brought to you by Levity Float Studio. Located in Squirrel Hill in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Levity Float Studio is the place to find your off button. I have a practice in meditation. I teach meditation, and I will tell you there is nothing like the experience of taking 60 minutes or 90 minutes for yourself in your solo float tank experience. It feels like the meditation lasts for 3 days. If you're thinking about it, you already want to try it, and you can use code MARTA, M-A-R-T-A, for $10 off any float or gift card. And for every friend you refer, you receive $15 in float credit. Plus, your friend gets $15 off their first float. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain, like spaciousness in your mind. Go find your off button at Levity Float Studio, and you can find them at levityfloatstudio.com. You're listening to Marta on the Move, hosted by Marta Napoleon Mazzoni. Woo! What keeps us moving, what keeps us connected, and how we travel as humans through this journey of life.
Grief recovery specialist, yoga and meditation guide, an energy healer, and hi, Rum Puncherton. How are you? If you are seeing me live, if you're here live with me, post 1 in the comments. If you are new to my world, post a 2. If you are watching on the replay, put #replay and just let me know if you're out there and say hello. Give me a little wave. Let me know where you're coming from, because I just love to engage with my audience. Today's an interesting day. Hi, thank you for waving, Rum Puncherton. What is your real name? You don't have to post it, but if you're on Instagram and you have a cool name, I don't know your real name, so I'll be calling you by your handle. So today, I wanted to talk about something that is just, it keeps coming up for me. And I am coming at you live like this. This was like when I get an intuitive hit. Since I'm an intuitive life coach, I get an intuitive hit. I'm like, boom, I want to talk about this. I want to go live. Like, it just happens. So you're getting me freshly showered and, like in my creative juices and in Sunday morning garb. Perfectionism is something that just doesn't live here. So I wanted to share it because it came through for me. For anyone out there that wants to be a great leader. So, God, I could cry. Like even just announcing this. For me, I want to be a great leader. Great. Like a great leader. And I'm not a great leader yet, but I'm learning. And I'll always be learning. And I'm just contemplating more and more and more what it takes to be a great leader, because I think for many reasons that it is such an important topic in the world that we live in today. And I think also that people in leadership almost don't even look at themselves as leaders. Teachers are leaders. If you're leading a group in anything, you are automatically a leader. If you are guiding people, you are a leader. If you are in a place of office, you are a leader. If you own a company, you are a leader. If you own your own business, you're a leader. And I personally believe that each and every one of us are leaders because we lead ourselves. And that, at the heart of it, is what I believe makes a great leader. Someone who leads themselves. Like someone who has the initiative. So I wanted to put forth a question for today of how are you leading your life? Like, how are you leading your life? How are you being as a leader in your life? And do you view yourself? This is a great question, actually. Do you view yourself as a leader? I know, it's like, what? No. If your response is automatically no, ooh, because we are all here to lead ourselves. And I believe great leadership And recently I saw not great leadership. And it was one of the reasons why I felt called to go live. But I wanted to talk about what I feel makes great leadership, what I've seen great leaders do. And great leadership to me involves being able to look at yourself, like being able to sit with your decisions, being able to look at what you're talking about, being able to look at your triggers, being able to admit when you are wrong. And I'll come back to that in a minute because that feels like a bigger thing. It is being able to regulate your nervous system, like grounding yourself in moments of stress so that you don't react. You respond. You don't react, you respond. Your system is in a place of a regulated nervous system so that you're not reacting from fight or flight or anything like that. Like that's what makes a great leader. You're able to take yourself out of the victim role. Like you're able to see where you are playing the victim in your life and where you're villainizing someone else. You're able to develop your emotional intelligence, like the ability to navigate your own emotions, having compassion for others, healing yourself, like like admitting that, we all need healing and we're all working on ourselves, which means going to therapy, which means hiring a coach. It means, practicing and growing and learning and reading, the books and having this, I think what makes a great leader is like this sense of always learning, like always wanting to be better, to serve. I think at the core of it, that's what makes the ultimate great leader, is wanting to serve the people, like not doing it for yourself, like serving the people. And that's kind of a very nuanced thing, right? Like as we talk about it, because I'm sitting over here being like, oh, but like regulate your nervous system, take care of yourself, like, ask for help, do the work. On one hand, that's very much like for me. And I was going to say, but I'm like, what improv, Marta? No. And you have to do those things for you so that you can serve everyone else. Because when you don't do those things, it just doesn't work. You don't know how. You react instead of respond. You flip your lid. You are literally in victim mentality of like, why is this happening to me? And you don't see other people's pain, other people's stories. You have no grace or compassion. You're only like trapped in your own world. So being a great leader means leading yourself first and foremost. And it's the true ability when you do that, that you can offer the safest of spaces. Like the safest spaces. Great leaders offer safe spaces. And the number one thing that a great leader also does is it lifts others up. It empowers others. It doesn't feel like it's being taken down by other people's power. It actually raises other people's power. It amplifies other people. It gives them confidence. It nurtures them to grow like a plant. It doesn't feel threatened by them and tries to take them down. Right? And like this form of, at the first and foremost, this podcast, these lives are for me first. They are for me because I believe in self-leadership and I learn from speaking these words. I learn from learning. I'm always a student. And for me, like, I want to be a great leader, but I don't think that I am a great leader yet. I am working on being a great leader, working on it, always being the student, like always engaging, always being the student. And so this was just something that came to heart, that I wanted to pose the question to everyone out there, like, how are you leading yourself in your life? And you can post in the comments if you're watching this on replay. Hello. We're talking about leadership today. But also, do you consider yourself a leader? Do you consider yourself the leader of your life? Because otherwise, who else is doing it? Leadership applies to everyone. It's not just people in power. It applies to everyone. Whether you can lead yourself, whether you can take care of yourself, whether you can regulate your nervous system, and I'm going to tie this all together quite beautifully. It's wild to lead yourself. It is actually wild to think about being self-led. Because in our culture, it's like blaming others, being the victim. It's relying on others to fix the problem. And it's not taking responsibility for your actions and yourself, not taking care of yourself, getting a medicine to prescribe your, like, fix me. When really so many things are proactive. And this is being proactive in your life, this act of self-leadership, this feeling. And I'm really passionate about it. It is something that I'm going to tell you right now, like, I never thought about it ever. This was not something I was taught. This was not something that anyone spoke about as I was raised in high school, in Catholic grade school, in college, like out of college, in spaces. Like, self-leadership was not something that was ever spoken. Leadership in general was never spoken. And now there's like so many options, and it's so inspiring. There's this thing that my friend Maria was telling me about, like the Landmark Forum for kids and adults. It's like teaching leadership. I truly believe it is the core of leading a fulfilling life, if you can embrace this idea of self-leadership. And it's a wild idea. It's a pretty wild idea, because it's like against everything that we've ever learned. We look to others, but we don't look to ourselves. We don't look to ourselves. And so often, and in my work of like leading others to lead themselves to their joy, to their truth, back to their soul, to connection with their body, like coming alive again after loss. It's this beautiful way of shifting your mindset and looking at your life and saying, where can I be more of a leader in my life? There's a beautiful therapist that I follow. I believe, like, Nicole Dispenza, I think her name is. But she runs like self-healers, like the self-healers guides. I have like 3 of her books. I love them. And it's this amazing concept. It's an amazing concept. And I know, a part of me is just like so blown away by it. But I wanted to come today and I wanted to speak about that and how wild it is to kind of be a self-leader, one that can regulate their nervous system, one that can respond instead of react, one that can lift others up, one that can like be creative and pave the way to really live the life that they want to live. So I'm also coming on here as I speak about this because it is wild to be a self leader. And a lot of my work is steeped in that. A big part of my work, the people that I do work with are self leaders. Like they lead themselves. They have power. Like they have the power within them to lead themselves. And I see the power in them. They want it. They are working on themselves. They are ready to learn nervous system regulation. They are ready to heal. They are ready to put in the investment in their lives. And this is something I really wanted to talk about and I wanted to feature. So in October, I'm hosting another free masterclass and it's called Awaken the Wild Soul. And if you missed it, I went live to talk about what it actually means to be a wild soul. And like how it doesn't mean, like girls gone wild, like it's not the vibe. It's more like awakening to your truth. It's leading yourself to a peaceful place within yourself. Like that is a wild thing to do in this day and age with the world. To take care of yourself, to express your needs and wants, to find your voice, to stand in your convictions, to honor your core values, to be in integrity, to be creative and like, create whatever you want to create, to make what you want to make, to live fully, to fall in love with the life you have and honor your dreams and desires for the one that's coming. Like these are wild things. So I announced it today. There's a free masterclass coming. It is Awaken the Wild Soul, and it's happening October 15th through the 17th. So it's going to be online. There's going to be replays available, and it is specifically for women to come and express themselves. Like to come and reconnect with those parts of themselves that might have been lost for a while. To learn techniques to regulate their nervous system, to learn techniques to clear their energy, to learn tools to find themselves again. Connect with their body, to release shame that we've been holding in our body. And talk about the feminine and talk about the goddess and the divine. And, that's something that over the years took me a minute to get in touch with because I have always considered myself more of a masculine energy. And I have been tapping into more of my goddess, my flow, my intuition. Those things are very fluid within me now. And I want to share them with others. I want to share that with others in the hopes that it unlocks something for you, that you can shine your light brighter and you can access your gifts and you can be the leader of your life. Like be the leader of your life. So that is happening. The link is in the comments. And if you tuned into this live, I would love to hear how you are being a leader in your life, or if you ever even considered yourself the leader of your life. Like really being honest and being like, no. Did people talk about leadership in this way when you were growing up? Was this a thing? Curious, really curious. It couldn't have just been me. So thank you for coming here. Thank you for being here. And I will see you when I see you. Keep it moving, everybody. Bye.